Drawing boxes by sighting. Sighting is just a way of drawing where you use a unit of measurement on your reference or in person if you're just doing direct observation by using your pencil. Have you ever seen a cartoon picture of an artist and he's got his thumb stuck out and he's holding it up to like whatever he's drawing and he's like squinting at it? That's what the artist is doing. He's using his thumb to measure things. It's easier to do it with the pencil, but we'll go into that more in a minute. What I want to do first is explain something that's going to be really critical to drawing actual boxes, and that is drawing straight lines. When you draw a line, if you keep your hand on the paper, you're going to tend to get a curved line because your wrist is acting as a fulcrum, as in a simple machine, and your hand is just rotating around the fulcrum of your wrist. So you kind of have to lift your whole arm off your paper and then really focus on just, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. It doesn't have to look like it's made by a ruler, but you definitely don't want curved lines when you're trying to draw a box or cube style form. So if just practice that, and even your elbow, even if your elbow is on the table, you're still going to get those curved lines. So just kind of lift your hand off your paper, practice drawing straight lines in different directions. Oh, that was a bad one, but I corrected it, see? But you have to have your hand off the paper, off the table, in order to do this. Okay. So now I'm going to draw this image by sighting, if I can. And I think I can. All right. Now, when you draw things, and this is obviously in two-point perspective. Two-point perspective, you always see the corner of something first. In one-point perspective, you'll see the whole side first, and it will make a square or a rectangle. It's not going to be slanted like this. So if you were going to do this in linear perspective, you would have this corner facing you. And that corner is a good place to start when you're drawing. And obviously you have to draw a straight line. So now it's not quite in the center of the whole thing, although it's pretty close. So I'm just going to draw a line on my paper, kind of low because there's a lot of stuff above there. So I'm just going to just draw that corner kind of randomly right about there. Now I need to place this corner and this corner in the right place. So now I'm going to start using some sighting. So, and in the other video, the guy that was in the other video, he was doing this. So I'm just using my pencil. So I'm placing the tip of the eraser on the middle line, and I'm moving my thumb nail over to where the other one is. And then I'm going to compare this over here. All right, so you can see that this, I should have taped it down. This is that long, and this side is longer by a little bit. So I'm just going to place this line randomly. And then I'm going to measure it. And then I'm going to come over here and add about the same amount that it looked like when I measured it with my thumb. It's not precise, it's approximate. Now, you want to have your picture exactly aligned. You don't want your picture like this or this. I think most of you will be using your phone. I couldn't use my phone because I need my phone to record. Otherwise, I would be using my phone too. But you want everything kind of lined up. So now we need to get maybe this line right here. And it's going to go right here. So I'm going to hold my pencil up to that line. And then without moving it, I'm just going to bring it down. Well, I'm moving it, but I'm not tilting it. And I'm going to draw it right there. Now, in the picture, in the other video, the guy would, just eyeball that. But hey, why can't we just do that? Now, this line, I'll do the same thing. I just line up my pencil with that slant. Drag my pencil down to where it belongs. It needs to hook up with that other line. Now, sometimes you won't be able to do this, but, if it works for you, go ahead. All right, so there's my part of the box. Now, in 2-point perspective or 1-point perspective, these lines would be going back to a vanishing point. When we draw in 2-point perspective, that vanishing point is like 3 miles away or more. This is just like a shallow distance, not a deep distance. This is a matter of like less than 12 inches deep, where 3 miles, yes, you're going to see those lines start to converge and they're going to slant towards a common vanishing point. But for this purpose, when you're just doing something that's pretty close to you, you don't need to make those lines look like they converge. You can make them parallel. All right, so first of all, we have to figure out where to put the top of the box. So let's measure from here to here again, and then compare that with this. And you can see, oh, it's just nearly the same. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, it's just a tiny bit shorter than this. So I'm going to do this again, bring it down like this, and just put a mark right there, approximating where the top is. And that's another good thing about sighting is, like, if you had asked me, I would say, oh, this is much smaller than this. But when I measured it, it was just a little bit smaller. So, anyway. So I'm going to measure this line, and I'm just going to slide my pencil up. Oops, make that mark. I'm going to slide this one up. Because once I have this point, where this point goes, then it's easy. And then I could just, it doesn't matter which pencil I use. I'm just going to slide this over until it touches this corner. Oops, made a mistake. Oh, no, I didn't. I've got too many lines here. And then last, I just move this over until it meets up with that corner. And there I have the basic shape. Now, let me just measure that again. Yeah, I think that looks a little slanted wrong. I'm just going to correct that a little bit. And if something looks funny, definitely test it and measure it again. But that looks about right. Another thing you could measure would be the height of this. Let's measure the height of this compared to the height from here. So from here to here, this height is about 2/3 of this. So let's see if it looks like that here. Yep, it does. Okay, good. So at this point, all I really have to do is start adding like some little details. Like the way the box is glued together, it just looks kind of like this. And then there's that, let's see. In real life, I think this is an oval. So this might be the hardest part of this whole process. I'm just going to put little marks where I see the ends of things, and I'm just going to kind of make an oval there. Even if this is a circle, it would still read as an oval. If I want to cast shadow in there, well, you're not going to need perspective for that. Although you might. But what I like about this is, sometimes when you use rulers and stuff to draw things, everything just looks very mechanical, like it was drawn by a machine or something. And this gives you a look that's more artsy, more handmade. Anyway, there's my tissue box.